Welcome back to another episode of Spicing Things Up. I am your host, Brennan Merkel, here today with my co-host, Jacob Benson. Jacob, the NFL season's done, man. We don't have another live NFL game until September. How does that feel?
I feel like Buddy in The Incredibles after Mr. Incredible told him to go home, and he just rips down every single belonging that he had that he admired Mr. Incredible with.
Are you saying you're ripping down all of your
I'm not ripping
fandom?
it down, but I stared at it the way he stared at his stuff. Just that gristled face of just anger.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about today regarding the NFL. Obviously, the Super Bowl just happened this weekend. Your Kansas City Chiefs up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I say we just get right into it, man.
I agree.
We can't beat around the bush, you know.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to take my mind off it just for a second here.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about kind of what happened after first, because this just happened today.
Stuff.
Yeah. So Tom Brady, that drunken public fool, was carried out of a boat in Florida today, celebrating. So it looks like Tom Brady cannot handle his alcohol.
Did you see what he tweeted?
Yeah.
I'm guessing somebody else tweeted that and maybe tried to pretend that it was Tom tweeting from his account. But
that was 100% him. He doesn't.
So? He was very drunkenly worded, so it does make sense.
He's part of the Gen X crowd that's still kind of figuring out social media, because he was so late to get it. You know what I mean?
Do you think he's a lightweight, or you think he's a heavyweight?
I 100% think he's a lightweight.
You think so?
That man does worse things than keto.
That dude, he said he was drinking tequila,
avocado tequila. Or avo tequila. I couldn't even understand.
I don't even know what that means. What is it like?
Some role model. Tom
hollowing
Brady
out
is.
an avocado, filling it with tequila.
Probably. Well,
Probably drank one of those. He's just plastered.
I bet Patrick Mahomes wasn't blacking out at the parade last year and having to be carried out and drunkenly tweeting.
Oh, come on, dude.
Yeah. You know what? I found out by accidentally checking social media Monday morning how much Chiefs fans are despised in the United States of America.
Oh, I mean, did you see that the audience numbers for the Super Bowl? Number 1 was Kansas City. Number 2 was Boston. Number 3 was Tampa Bay.
Boston.
Which shows you that, you had
we're not so bad.
This whole crowd that's probably rooting against you. A whole nother fandom that's rooting against the Chiefs, because they were obviously rooting for Brady.
Yeah. Chiefs fans aren't so bad. I know we get a little rowdy sometimes, but I don't remember going and just ending careers of 49ers fans in 2020.
Well,
and I just sat there. I didn't speak one ill word of Mr. Brady during this football game, which, by the way, hey, what'd you do for the game?
I mean, I took it as, socially distant as I could.
At your house? At
my house with my roommates. We we got the Super Bowl platter going. Speaking of, what's your go-to Super Bowl snack?
All right, so my girlfriend and I were meal prepping for the game, but on the way over, I grabbed a 6-pack of Busch Light and some Ruffles chips with ranch dip. Nice. And I did buy a bag of Doritos, because I feel like you cannot have a Super Bowl party without Doritos being involved somehow.
Oh, I mean, it's the commercials. You gotta rep the brand.
Right. And I would say typically, so if you're doing a more private thing, I would definitely say charcuterie boards and chicken wings are where it's at. Mm-hmm. Not maybe not together, but you know what I mean.
I mean, I think anything goes when it comes to Super Bowl platters.
Yeah, and you can even get those boards at Hy-Vee or Walmart, and it's the ones with pepperoni, salami, and cheese and crackers.
Yeah, for anyone listening that's not
smack.
from Nebraska, Hy-Vee is a grocery store. Just to clear that up.
That shit bussin'.
No, but I would say my favorite Super Bowl dish is 100%
pizza,
buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken. Oh yes,
Buffy
yes,
chicky
yes.
dip.
Yeah. That
Fritos.
Yeah. When the Chiefs or the Huskers got you down, pop a Buffy chicken dip. Buffy chicken dip, make the pain go away.
Buffy chicky to make the
Buffy
pain
chicky,
go away.
yeah. Do you know, I have a really good recipe, actually. I'll send you after the show. But
I might have to try that.
Yeah. I'm a great cook.
But going back to some Super Bowl talk, you mentioned that, some people might not like fans or Chiefs fans as much.
There was some targeting towards Chiefs fans, I would say. I'm a little hurt.
Well, you got to go back to last weekend. You even mentioned that, Brady might cheat against you guys.
Yes, I did.
So I feel like there was a lot of talk going into the game revolving, Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. A lot of Chiefs fans were like, well, if Mahomes wins this game, is he the greatest quarterback of all time?
I wouldn't say that. I was still calling.
Well, you don't say that now because he lost.
Well, no, had he won, I still would have. I mean, I even admitted during the postseason before the Super Bowl was announced that Tom Brady is going to go down as the best quarterback of all, the greatest quarterback of all time. There's no arguing. There's no actual debate. He's objectively the greatest quarterback to exist.
Well, there was definitely the debate though before the game happened that if Mahomes did come in, win 2 Super Bowls in a row, take down arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, that maybe he's in the contention of being called the GOAT now. And I think
I was hearing baby GOAT.
Maybe, but I heard a lot of the opposite, just being like, well, it's going to be like this whole, the torch being passed down to this new generational quarterback, which to me, it was jumping the gun. And now looking back on it, hindsight's 2020, definitely jumping the gun. What do you think of
I wouldn't even consider that jumping the gun per se, because here's the thing. Tom Brady's got one good year left in him, maybe.
I mean, this was a great year for him.
It was a great year, but he also, he caught the Chiefs off guard in this game. I will say that.
The Chiefs.
We will get into our full analysis in just a second.
They chose definitely the worst possible time to have their worst game of the season in the Super Bowl. But it was a testament. You could tell that the Bucs defense was not the same Bucs defense that they played back in the regular season.
Right. Because I think that the Chiefs tried using that same exact offense and defense against them that they used earlier in the season that they blew them out of the water with. Mm-hmm. And then, when you have almost all of your cornerbacks guarding Tyreek Hill, so he can't even get more than 5 receptions, that's also kind of how you win. I mean, I never once gave up hope until the last couple minutes of the game.
Well, you can never really count the Chiefs out until the game's over.
That's the thing, too, because they have started down from such bad deficits before in games. Greatest example, I cannot talk today. The greatest example would be the divisional round in 2020 or 2019? Yeah, 2019 against the Houston Texans.
See, people bring that up a lot because they were down, 24-0 at half?
Yeah.
At some point, at least?
Yeah.
The thing is, that was crazy to me, and that was still a very good comeback. But that Texans team, I don't believe is comparable to this Buccaneers team, because this Buccaneers team is really good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't consider them a super team, but I would consider them a super powerful team. You know what I mean?
They almost their defense is incredible, but you probably could look at their offense and, consider it a super team because, I mean, you have Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Leonard Fournette.
The two latter being
who I guess is
top 5
Lombardi Leonard now.
Lombardi Lenny. Saw someone call him Henny Lenny.
Lenny.
He tweeted something about how he's like, it's too hot out here. I'm starting to hallucinate, and JPP has all of his fingers.
Wait, he tweeted that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he tweeted it. So that was pretty funny. I also saw that now Tom Brady has enough rings to fit on every single one of Jason Pierre-Paul's fingers. So
that's actually really good. I haven't heard that one yet.
3 fingers
from fireworks. Yeah, I think.
I know it was from fireworks, but that's a lot of fingers. Does he just plays with a club or something, doesn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
That can't be fair.
No. Well, I don't mean to get mean. You know what? don't take this as mean, but Shaquem Griffith.
Yeah, no. What?
Shaquem Griffin or Griff? Yeah, the Seattle.
Yeah.
He's still able to play with one arm.
Yeah, sure.
Or one hand. I don't know where it cuts off at.
Yeah, I think he's mostly missing his hand. Wrist.
Okay, and he's still a very good defensive back.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying players should not let physical adversities allow them to overcome their skills.
Yeah.
But JPP, I don't know. Is he still good?
He was beasting. Their whole defense honestly had a field day, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But that's a lot due to the Chiefs' offensive line, since just incredibly letting down Patrick Mahomes.
I'm pretty sure I want an investigation on the offensive line because it looked like they were playing to throw the game. Now, here's the thing, though. So as far as my whole Chiefs analysis, we heard about this the other day, but Britt Reed, Andy Reid's son, was involved in a pretty serious car accident that hospitalized children.
Yeah.
So and since that happened, like right before the game, like the same weekend, I feel like that's something that should be talked about as part of their performance. And I get it, they're professional athletes; they're supposed to play through anything.
Yeah.
But that's a very big blow, especially to Andy Reid as the head coach.
Oh, yeah.
The guy's dad.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm not saying that's an excuse for them losing, but I definitely think, there's a lot of factors into that game.
Yeah. No,
and
it was...
in the end, the Chiefs are to blame for their own failures, which is why I was more pissed off than I was sad. Mm-hmm. Because like that was just so frustrating to watch because it looked like they just weren't even trying. I'd say Patrick Mahomes was probably the only one that actually looked like he was putting an effort like the entire game. Like you saw that one hit, he's literally being sacked and he's still able to like bomb a pass to Darrell Williams right in the face mask, which was still dropped. But
yeah. No, there was a lot of things that Patrick Mahomes was trying. He was R. Kelly meme out there fighting for his life. But no, it was going back to the offensive line. It was one of the most one-sided line of scrimmage games, I've seen, let alone in a Super Bowl. And it reminded me almost, no offense, of when the Seattle Seahawks just absolutely destroyed the Broncos in like 2014.
How am I taking offense to that?
Because your team is the one that just got manhandled.
Oh.
But it was like 43-8, which going back on it, 31-9 is still like such a crazy score to me. I would never have seen the Chiefs not even scoring a touchdown.
You know what the worst part about the game was?
What?
I had to stay sober the entire time. So not only was I completely lucid and watching my team just become the bitch of Tom Brady, I couldn't even like drink it away because I had work at 7 a.m. the next morning. I was like, well, this is my life now, I guess. And guess what? My warmest and only hat is a Kansas City Chiefs one, and I'm still wearing it proudly because I will ride or die for this team regardless. And the amount of shit I get for it is like, oh God! Like I get why people wanted the Bucs to win because they don't want to see they don't want to see a team win 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. I don't get why that's such an issue.
Yeah, I just think it's the dominance of the Chiefs.
I think so too, but hearing a lot of sports analysts calling the Chiefs their play style like comparing it to an NBA team. I feel like that's something that would be appreciated by most of the NFL community, but no, it's not.
What do you mean NBA? Like
an NBA had the Chiefs won this year, they literally would have been
like a dynasty.
Yeah, like a dynasty team. So like the Warriors, the Bulls, or the Heat
type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Which a lot of people in the NBA like that kind of stuff, mm-hmm. And I feel like NBA fans or NFL fans probably cross paths within fanship.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, man, it really, it hurts. And you know what? One thing that I was happy about, Chiefs are already favored to win next year.
Oh, I'm sure. Who was in second? Were the Bucs in second?
No, Bucs were like third or fourth.
Okay.
I think second was Green Bay, maybe?
Probably Green Bay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm just going to brush my head off this one. But if I could, Brennan, I have a very long list of things I need to address about this game.
Is one of them including the referees?
One of them is including the referees. I'll start off with that one, actually. So when guys even like Warren Sharp are going on Twitter and talking about how bad and like one-sided the refs are being, mm-hmm. There's something going on here. I'm not going to dive into conspiracy theories here. As much as I wanted to, on the ride over here, I was literally thinking, how big of an ass do I want to make of myself on this show? Mm-hmm. And as much as I want to say, absolutely, ride or die, the refs were completely different in the first half than they were in the second half.
100%.
And there were just some bullshit calls going on there too. Like there was a really bad pass. I mean, I get these things happen. You know, you cannot control every single call. I know not everything's going to be seen, but it looked as if, I mean, I'm not going to pull Darren Rovell and literally say, oh, the female ref that was on the field, her son, his name is Brady, and they're from Florida, and he's 16 years old. So like she was definitely biased. I was like, good God. Like watching that made me want to like throw my phone out the window. Because that's the stuff that makes me, in my analysis, look like a piece of shit. So basically, my take on the refs was like, I can't say they were completely biased, but they made a lot of mistakes. And I'm not saying any of their mistakes would have changed the outcome of the game itself, but I think the game, like I think the Chiefs would have at least been able to score some touchdowns.
I do think the worst instance was definitely probably game-changing call. Was the one holding call when Tyrann Mathieu picked off Brady in the end zone, because that was like a momentum swinging interception right there.
Exactly, and I stood up and started clapping, and then I saw the flag, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. I almost threw a remote through my girlfriend's TV.
But at the same time, because that was like that was when they were about to score like within 2 minutes of the first half, right?
Yes.
So at the same time, that same drive, you had that Breland pass interference on Mike Evans that set up like a 30-yard gain.
Which, that one kind of bothered me, too, because, first of all, because I think that was one of the passes that got swatted, too.
No, it looked like he tripped Mike Evans.
Oh, it looked like he tripped him.
Because he was falling behind, Breland fell down, and it looked like, they got tripped up. So, I mean, that's going to be an easy call for every ref to usually throw a flag for. So
exactly. But I do remember seeing one pass interference call that I don't think should have happened. I don't know. I'm not like an expert on the rule book here. Might have to bring in the old man. But there was one call. So the ball was definitely swatted, and it didn't even look like he was going in Mike Evans' direction. And this was way off the field. It wasn't a catchable ball.
Oh, that was in the end zone.
That was in the end zone?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that might have been the same drive.
Okay.
Because there was like 3 or 4 defensive penalties that were called in that last drive by the Bucs to end the half. Because remember, they were within like the 5-yard line, and I think they tried to run it. And that was when Andy Reid, though, he called like a timeout on defense, which gave the Bucs even more time to try and run up a play. And then they tried to do like that fade in the end zone, I think, to Mike Evans, which was thrown literally through the goalpost. Yeah. And they called it pass interference at the line of scrimmage pretty much. So that was bullshit. That set up a Antonio Brown touchdown a play later. But I mean, at the same time, that drive, the Breland PI, Andy Reid's timeout, those are things that you can't really hold against the refs because they're just parts of the game.
Exactly. And I can't even stay mad at that fact as much as I wanted to. Because, whenever a call doesn't go your way, you're always going to blame the refs and say that they're screwing you and that they're like taking paychecks from the other team. Yeah. But I will say this, though. So I was actually just kind of creating some very creative conspiracy theories in my head throughout the game. One of them actually involved like the barber that got COVID. Oh, yeah. I was 95% confident that Tom Brady hired him.
We talked about that last week.
Right. No. But I'm serious. Like, I think after he wasn't like so I think he like paid the barber to go in and like sell secrets of the team, because everybody talks to their barber. I talk to my haircut like person all the time. Gossip. And gossip. And when that didn't work, I think he tried to. I think he infected the COVID or the barber with COVID to give to the team.
Unreal.
All right. And then, I do think that the Chiefs offensive linemen should definitely be investigated if they're not traded.
You think they, I think they made all of them walk home. I think they made every single lineman walk home.
I hope they did, because them not actively participating, because like Ndamukong Suh is their whole D-line.
Dude, Vita Vea,
yeah.
Jason Pierre-Paul. They've got a stacked defense, man. Obviously,
but they were able to. I mean, I know the Chiefs were missing 2 linemen, but they were still able to not make that an issue during the first game.
But I mean, they were missing Eric Fisher, which I guess I've heard from Chiefs fans that he isn't that good. But
I don't think, because he was like drafted as #1 pick in a class that had no good quarterbacks, receivers, or running backs.
Okay.
What was I going to say, though? Oh, yeah. But it looked like they threw the game, and them not doing their job, it looked like I was, like, playing COD Zombies with Patrick Mahomes, like, just running, like, the trains and stuff. And, like, everyone's just kind of chasing after you in a single line.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, dude, like, seriously, like, watching that game was just, like, rubbernecking a car crash on the interstate. You just can't look away from it as bad as it is.
I mean, obviously, the lineman didn't throw the game.
I know that.
There was a lot of drops.
Made me feel better.
A lot of drops that would have helped, even in the early game. You had Kelsey drop some.
And that was another one of my conspiracy theories, is that Bruce Arians and Tom Brady got a garden hose and sprayed the entire field to make it super slick, and they gave Mike Evans and Antonio Brown special cleats to help them stick to it, while Kelsey and Hill were just slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah, so conspiracy theories aside, Mahomes, he missed Tyreek Hill early on their go-to crossing play that probably would have resulted in a touchdown.
Do you think they just got like the jitters or something, and that's why?
I don't know, man. I mean, the punter kicked it 15 yards from their end zone, so the Buccaneers got it on their own field, so own side of the field. So that didn't help either. There's a lot of things that you can look back that did not attribute to the Chiefs being able to try and win that game. But I will agree that the refs didn't call an equal game, in my opinion. But
in a lot of people's opinion.
Yeah, Tampa Bay got a lot of tricky calls when KC didn't. But yeah, let's talk about some of the positive things. Mahomes, the throw where he was being dragged down by Vita Vea, where he was literally spinning and somehow threw a perfect pass to the back pylon. I mean,
he's so talented.
He is. And I mean,
and if it wasn't for his brother, I think he would be the most loved person in the world.
Yeah. And it's like, when I saw that, I was just like, how?
I think he was made in a lab.
Yeah. Mahomes' stat line, it really doesn't tell the whole story at all. So, I mean, you had receivers, balls are hitting them in the face. Pause. But I mean, yeah. It was pretty crazy. But I did see that first half, Tom Brady was the first quarterback to have an 80% completion percentage in the first half of a Super Bowl. So that
he's
was
also
crazy.
won like over 10% of the Super Bowls too.
That's true, but it's pretty crazy that, he's first quarterback. He has never done it.
Yeah.
Also, another interesting stat going off of the O-line letting him down was that Mahomes ran an accumulative 497 yards to avoid the Bucs pass rush, which was most by a quarterback all season. What a time to have that happen too.
The fact that that's even a stat drives me up a wall. Like, that is the most ridiculous. Like, I remember seeing about that Monday morning, and I was just like, what? Like, what?
I know. And did you know that Rex Grossman, Bears quarterback that played with them when they were in the Super Bowl in 2007, registered a better QB rating than Patrick Mahomes did in this.
Well, he didn't exactly play like the previous Super Bowl MVP. So that's just kind of out of the question too. I mean, I feel like a lot of people that are like listening today were also just like expecting me just to break down as a man and like just cry in the microphone for an hour. But I'm very proud of myself for how I'm holding up. So since I was watching it at my girlfriend's and I worked the next day, there was really no way to like react.
Yeah.
As much as I wanted to. So the entire time I was at work Monday, I was literally like, okay. It was like an 18-hour period where I just like couldn't let anything out, without fear of like, just relationship repercussions or getting fired from my job. And so I'm like, okay, as soon as you're off work, go work out, go cry, like destroy your room, whatever. So as soon as like, first of all, I had one of the best workouts of my life that day. Because all my pent up rage at Tom Brady, because I was literally like in my head, I was so pissed off. It was doing leg day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find this man. I'm gonna kick his ass. Like I was like literally like lifting as if I was training for a fight. Like
Come on, man, you would make love to him so passionately. I just know you would.
No, and here's why. It's because my last name's not Brady. Bada boom, gotcha. Yeah, Tom Brady, he kisses his kids still, and I don't. And neither does Patrick Mahomes, even though he doesn't have kids, but still. They're a good comparison.
You know what I think the most disrespectful part of the game was? was
The Tyreek Hill like getting a peace sign at him.
no, that was sweet though. That was well deserved. You have to admit that was well deserved. Antoine Winfield doing that. Tyreek Hill did it to him when he burned him.
Yeah,
in the first game.
I couldn't be too upset because if you get the betterment of Tyreek Hill, I mean, you know what? I think I would have appreciated it more if it was just him guarding him. Because then that would have shown actual skill. Because when you have help from two other guys, like to keep him covered.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
You got to put a slight asterisk on that.
He's the fastest person in the league, and he was shut down in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
They shut him down.
they shut him down. Yeah,
Yeah. So
and that hurt to say, but
what I was going to say was that the most disrespectful part to me was when the streaker got onto the field.
oh, dude, did you hear about that? We got to talk about this.
There was like 5 minutes left in the game, and the streaker just like interrupts the Chiefs trying to drive down and score. And at that point, I'm sure all the Chiefs players are just like, literally, just end the game.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Like I was a horse with a broken leg by the end of that, and I wanted to be put out of my misery.
Yeah. How did you feel when you saw the streaker?
So first of all, I thought it was kind of funny. I chuckled.
Yeah.
Although I was like kind of pissed. I was like, you know what, whatever. At least it ended in a funny way because that kind of humor just makes me laugh as like a shit ton. But I looked into this guy's story. He bet like 50 grand that there would be a streaker in a prop bet.
Yeah.
And so apparently like one of his buddies like streaked before him.
Yeah, he tried
as the
was
diversion.
Distraction.
Yeah, he was the diversion. So when the cops grabbed him, the other guy, he's just running off. He's got like the pink thong on and everything.
That's crazy.
The guy won like 300 grand
I know.
from that.
So he paid his bail easily.
He paid his bail with his bail was $1,000
Made
bucks.
some money. Yeah, I wish he would have told us.
And then there was a picture of
that.
him in like a Waffle House like right after.
I know, I saw that. I wish you would have let us in on that so we could have bet on it. But speaking of bets, we threw out some prop bets beforehand, or like last week before the Super Bowl.
Yes, we need to talk about it.
We need to talk about it because I did pretty good. We both did pretty good. My prop bets, for just to remind everyone, was a penalty over 15.5 yards. And luckily enough, as we talked about before, the Breland PI call on Mike Evans went for like 20 plus yards and cashed that bet. Then we got Fournette, more receptions than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Fournette was like the second leading reception or receiver for Tampa Bay. So that one cashed. The only one that I got wrong was Patrick Mahomes' second quarter touchdown. He didn't have his touchdown at all. So that one was surprising. That was the one I thought was almost the most surefire option. But Jacob, how did yours end up?
So I didn't put any actual like money down or anything, but
or what you talked about last week.
Yeah. So
some stuff.
I actually can't remember exactly what I said, but I do know I was completely right on the coin toss because I said it was going to be heads and correct.
That's right, and I said tails.
Yeah, because you said tails never fails, but guess what, Brennan? It failed.
That just means I got to triple down next year.
Yeah, triple down on heads.
Triple down on tails.
On tails.
It'll come eventually.
Okay. And then
the over for the national anthem.
I was just about to bring that up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember last week, but Brendan and I pretty much set our own line for the national anthem because we literally could not find diddly squat on the internet. So we set it at 1:09.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. It was pretty low.
Oh my gosh, that's really low.
Yeah. So
the actual over ended up being 1:59. Well, that was what it was set at.
So
and it hit the over.
In our eyes,
we
smashed the over.
We won twice.
We won twice. Yeah.
But I knew I knew like 2 lines into it that the over was going to hit no matter what it was.
Dude, if you ever get a country singer to sing the national anthem, that shit's going to go on for hours.
Yeah, and it was a duet too. I mean, they're all both just out there.
It was a very well performed national anthem.
It was good. So was the America the Beautiful by
with
her.
Yeah.
That was awesome as well.
I can't. Whenever I like hear her voice, though, I always think of like the song she does with like Daniel Caesar. Like, just because I listen to that like on a daily basis.
She's got a soulful sounder. She's got a very good voice. All right, should we tackle the other performance?
I believe we should.
The Weeknd. Halftime.
Blinding lights.
We have heard the song for weeks and weeks. During the commercial, whatever that was, he was.
The Weeknd made me feel like a star boy.
He did, dude. I mean, he was just out there singing song after song about cocaine, and people are just
during the Pepsi halftime show. The disrespect.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna pretend we're talking about like
I didn't even think about
the innocent coke.
He's just talking about coke.
Yeah, he's just not even talking about it, man. He's singing it. He is singing up to the heavens about coke during the Pepsi halftime show.
He was memed on pretty hard,
dude. But you know what? Those were well deserved because I was very intrigued by this performance.
Like, it was. What did you think it was good?
I thought it was good. Here's the thing. This is a very divided issue because from what I've been talking to about my peers, at least, people either really loved the halftime performance or they despised it.
I was pretty indifferent.
You're pretty indifferent?
Yeah, I didn't love.
Did you like last year's better?
Who was last year's?
J-Lo and Shakira.
I mean, I like that for different reasons, but
you sick bastard.
This performance, I mean, it was no Prince. It was nothing of that caliber. No Beyonce. It was just kind of like
it's a fair assessment.
It's a forgettable Super Bowl performance, halftime performance, but at the same time, it's not like, it was horrible. It wasn't like a Bruno Mars halftime performance where I don't remember at all.
Don't even get me started.
So I feel like, the stakes of the Super Bowl itself, it really didn't feel the same watching it. It didn't feel like a normal Super Bowl.
It didn't, no. And were you also thinking what I was thinking too, just like the buildup of the Weeknd's performance, like throughout his like social media and just like everything you've been saying? Because first of all, he's worn the exact same outfit for like every like media coverage thing, like whatsoever. Like whenever
take a shower, wash your clothes. Yeah. Do some laundry, man. Come on.
Yeah, but I was super thrilled to see that the plastic surgery on his face was in fact fake.
I was very happy about that as well.
And you know what? I kind of dig the deeper message behind it about just being real and like what fame does to people and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, you know what? So Brennan, if you and I ever get famous from this show, we will take sponsors' money, but we're not going to get plastic surgery as much as we want to.
At least plastic surgery that like people won't be able to see right away, you know?
Oh, dude, I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm not going to get a boob job.
That might be kind of sweet.
Yeah. I saw something with like Lil Nas X, like with like fake.
Oh my god,
was that real?
I saw that. That was not real.
Okay, very good. Come on. But back to the Weeknd though. I think my favorite meme, like when he's like in like that Hall of Lights, that he's blinded by.
I missed that part. That was during the Blinding Lights performance.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you can tell, because the lights were in fact blinding, and he was blinded by them.
Oh.
But when he was like in that like 360 camera and he's like holding it up, it looked exactly like the Joker in The Dark Knight when he's doing like. This.
I saw somebody voice over.
Yeah, and there was like a voiceover. It was so well done. I was just like, you know what? Props to you. That's the best thing that I've seen from this.
Until midnight to give me the Batman, or people are gonna die.
But man of my word.
But no, I know exactly what you're talking about. There was so many memes that surfaced from that specific part,
and I couldn't.
Or the Jabberwockies that he had in the dancers with all the masks on. Have you ever heard of the Jabberwockies?
No.
They're the dancing group that wears the masks. They have all the crazy lights. You would recognize them. I know you've seen them.
Probably.
But
probably a minute ago, but many moons ago.
They looked like, maybe I should say they looked like clone troopers or something out there, all with their masks on.
I've actually
formation.
Been really getting into Star Wars lately too. So that was a very good illusion that you just put out there. So I appreciate that at least.
Yeah, you're welcome. Dare we say Tom Brady is like Darth Vader?
Tom Brady's 100% Darth Vader.
100%.
And I saw another Rogue One meme of like Tom Brady's face on Darth Vader when he's just kicking ass at the end.
Oh,
and like Patrick Mahomes is like the like main rebel guy. He's like freaking out, shaking the gun. Yeah, and I was just like,
I think it's a fair.
It was so true, but it hurts so bad.
Darth Vader's a beast, so he's the GOAT of Star Wars.
I did a very good job during the game of not going on social media or like texting anybody unless it was a media family.
Yeah.
Because like we're all united. We're an alliance of Chiefs fans in my home, except my mother, who's a Broncos fan for some reason. But like that was okay, cool. That was like the only time I was like on my phone whatsoever. And at the very like end of the game, I was like responding to something, and I accidentally opened a group chat of just Chiefs haters.
Yeah.
And I I couldn't handle it. I almost broke down and started crying. I saw a glimpse of it and I was like, oh no. I'm like, I got to open this at some point. And I just started going off about how much I dislike Tom Brady. I mean, I respect Tom Brady and I always will, but God, do I just...
You know what I realized this game did, though?
What?
Which must be a fact to what you brought up earlier, or must be attributed to the fact that you were saying people despise Chiefs fans, or they have been recently.
At least this year, they for sure do. I think last year, everyone kind of wanted the Chiefs to win.
Yeah, but so this Super Bowl, I think, did prove that because you had a lot of people. Me, for example, I've always respected Tom Brady, never been a fan of the Patriots dynasty, but it had me rooting for him almost because I was like, this is a sweet story. And you had a lot of people, I think, out there that like usually wouldn't root for Brady that were.
Yeah, they were simping for him. They were simping for Tom Brady.
I wasn't simping. But
you weren't, but other people were.
He's a dog, dude. And he knows how to make a good hype video, I'll tell you that. He obviously doesn't make them, but he distributes them, puts them on social media.
Distributes them like he distributes his
kisses,
avocado tequila shots, and child kisses.
But I did see...
And Robert Kraft kisses.
Yep. I saw somewhere that
in the butt.
Brady officially now has more individual Super Bowl wins than every single franchise in the league.
Yeah, I saw that too.
The Patriots have 6, all with Brady.
All with Brady. And then
Steelers have 6, I believe.
Chiefs have 3 or 2.
Yeah, Giants might have 4 or 5.
I thought they had 5.
They might have 5, but yeah. The point is, he is the leader in Super Bowl stats right now, out of anything.
And I will dance on his grave when he retires. Along will.
Speaking of, do you think he comes back?
He'll come back after this year.
I think he came out and said. Somebody asked him that. He's like, they're like, "Are you coming back?" He's like,
"Yeah, I'll see you guys back next year. Excuse me, I gotta go kiss my kid and get the champagne breath out of my mouth."
All right, so obviously you're still hurt.
I'm still hurt. I'll be over in
you're trying to hide it. But,
I'll be over in like a week probably. Just give me time.
That's fair. But yeah, I do think he comes back. Another crazy thing to consider is
I don't think they'll go to the Super Bowl next year though.
Yeah, this past weekend. Or before the Super Bowl, they announced, I think it was before the Super Bowl, the Hall of Fame inductees.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had Peyton Manning, one of the all-time greatest quarterbacks as well.
I do think, yeah, he definitely deserves it.
Definitely deserves it. Then we had Charles
I didn't like him
Woodson.
very much either for obvious reasons, but what?
We had Charles Woodson.
Okay.
Who was he was the last defensive player to win the Heisman, believe it or not. And then we had Calvin Johnson. And who else? Am I missing someone? I might be missing someone. But did you know that Calvin...
I'm kidding.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson he got drafted after Tom Brady was drafted, played a whole career, got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Before Tom Brady
as Tom Brady's playing in another Super Bowl.
Yeah, Tom Brady's a dinosaur, man. And I know he's like super good. I want him to retire because he has just destroyed the Chiefs so many times. Like it's impossible for me to like him. It's impossible for a lot of genuine sports fans to like Tom Brady. Also, I've been thinking about fanship a lot recently too.
Yeah.
Do Bucks fans even exist before this year? Were there like seriously though, congrats to all like 55 Bucks fans that were actual fans before 2020.
You know what I find interesting is that the Bucks renovated a lot of their stadium and also touched up a lot of their jerseys, like as soon as Tom Brady came to town.
Probably to build up a more fanship, even though
Jameis Winston had some of the ugliest uniforms when he played quarterback.
Yeah.
When he started to play, at least. So it was definitely interesting to see that. I noticed that. Let's see. I had one other thing that I was going to ask you about.
I was actually going to also bring up. Go
ahead.
There's just a few teams. So first of all, okay, let me know if you've ever met any of these fans for these teams. Ready? Cincinnati Bengals, Indianapolis Colts.
I've met Colts fans.
Have you?
Yeah. I know a few people who they're more
just
Colts,
like basement dwellers or
Colts fans, by association because, they've kind of like some of the other teams that are in, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay. What about
Peyton Manning brought in a lot of fans there too when he played.
Do the Jacksonville Jaguars have fans?
That is a very good question.
I think Barstool made Blake Bortles famous.
Was he still on the Jags?
He was still on the Jags, yeah. I think they upped his popularity by a ton. I feel
He's
like
not even on the Jags anymore.
No, exactly. But back when he was, is what I'm saying. But
Gardner Minshew might have
also done that.
At the same time, though, you got to think about that the Jaguars now have the number 1 overall pick, so their fans will come back.
I'm sure.
They'll probably get more fans. You'll have every single Clemson fan probably.
Football, I mean, I think just all sports in general. Like I think we're living in a time now where you see so many more like fair weather fans than ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Because like, how many people would you say were Chiefs fans besides me before 2018 when Patrick Mahomes started?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, as soon as I started going to school somewhere that wasn't Chicago, in a place where a lot of Chiefs fans are, it's when the Chiefs started to become good anyway. But I mean,
well, I don't think they had a couple bad seasons with Alex Smith, but I'd say ever since Andy Reid became the head coach, they were in the conversation a lot. Like they became relevant once again.
But I mean, a few weeks ago, or it might have been last week, when I brought up the new Texans head coach, you didn't know that he was the wide receivers coach for the season that they didn't throw a single touchdown to wide receivers.
Yeah, with Dwayne.
Hey, if you're a real Chiefs fan, can you tell me what happened December 15th, 2013?
Was that when? Because 2013 was when Andy Reid became the head coach. I think that was his first year.
I think you're right.
Let's see. Alex Smith, that was his first year on the Chiefs too. December 15th? Mm-hmm. Wasn't Pearl Harbor. I'm trying to think, dude. All right. I don't know.
That was Jamal Charles' 60-point fantasy game when he had like 5 touchdowns. Dude, I didn't had 200 yards receiving or something.
I did not have a horse in the fantasy game until like freshman or sophomore year of high school.
I mean, I remember that from a fantasy perspective just because I think I might have been involved in fantasy then, but still just Jamal Charles was a savage.
Jamal Charles, that is a ghost from the past, man. I loved that man, except the fact that he had an injured, he was so injury prone. I don't think he got through. I think he got through like maybe one whole season without being injured.
Did he go somewhere else?
Yeah, I think he went to not Tennessee.
No, you're right. It was in Tennessee.
I can't remember. I'm just gonna say Houston because I thought it was Houston, but it's definitely not. It
wasn't Houston. I don't think he went to another divisional rival. But anyway, getting back to the Super Bowl.
We talk about our favorite commercials in a sec, too.
Yes, definitely. We'll have to hit on some commercials. But in the beginning of the game, did you see who Roger Goodell was sharing a suite with?
No.
He was sitting next to Russell Wilson, dude. I was like, what? Blink twice, Russ, if you need help. But I don't know, dude. I also saw Russ was drinking like a canned Aquafina water, and I was like, what's wrong with you, man? You're not going to win MVP like that, bro.
Dude, Russell Wilson's got some demons somewhere.
He does, dude.
Have you seen his Twitter? I mean, I definitely appreciate all of his messages, but
hey, he's a good guy.
He's a great guy, but holy cow, who the hell drinks like I think God told him he needs to start drinking canned Aquafina or else he's not going to win MVP. Like when God talked to Thad Castle in Blue Mountain State, he's like, you need to go celibate for a year.
If I'm being honest, Russ's like whole career has been that Super Bowl that Mahomes just played in. His whole career has just been running from defensive linemen, chucking balls, completing them, and just tossing up prayers his entire career.
Well, you can make the same argument for Phil Rivers or Andrew Luck too.
But I mean, Russ is more of the same play style.
Yeah, the same play style because neither of those two were really rushers.
Yeah, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. Another thing I found interesting was we'll discuss this right before we get into the commercials. The Bears beat the Buccaneers in the regular season.
So did the Chiefs.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
You guys beat them by a point.
It doesn't count because you guys beat them by 3 points. But it doesn't count because now it's evens out, so it basically doesn't mean anything.
So are we Eagles once again, Brennan?
No, because I think Bears are Super Bowl winners by association because we didn't lose to them. So
okay,
yeah. Actually,
they
if
lost
we're
to some pretty shitty teams, Brennan.
the
Bucks.
we beat the Bucks. So
They almost lost to the Washington football team.
yeah, well, I mean, you guys lost to the Raiders.
That was a blueprint game.
You guys lost to the Chargers.
None of the Chargers were playing.
That's fair.
And you know what? I thought it was funny that the Chargers actually tried to win that game because all that did was worsen their draft stock.
You guys lost your bye week.
Shit.
Your bye
Got him!
and your Super Bowl and your playoff bye week.
And the playoff bye week.
No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to point it out. You know,
You're such a jokester.
I just had to say that. You know, Bears beat
Brennan,
the
what's
Super
your
Bowl
astrology
winners.
sign, dude? Like you are.
I'm a Sagittarius.
You are
but,
Sagittarius.
you know, I don't want to brag about it. All right, but let's talk about some commercials because honestly, kind of like what I was saying earlier, it was a forgettable Super Bowl in many entertainment aspects.
Does this include visual advertisements?
I think it does.
Really?
I didn't like a lot of the commercials. None of them. I wrote down a few, but if I didn't write down a few, there was like maybe one or two that I would have remembered.
Okay. Let me start off with my personal favorite. It definitely would have been the. Okay, so I have like two personal favorites. I'd say these are tied. The number one would have been the Mountain Dew commercial with John Cena.
Oh yeah.
Because watching that was so visually appealing. I'm pretty sure that's what Lil Uzi Vert sees on a daily basis, just when he goes outside.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos Uzi Vert.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, that was just a very cool commercial. I love seeing John Cena just riding a car with just a bunch of like colors and stuff. It just brought back positive vibes from just the shit show of the performance I was looking at.
Sure.
And then okay, I would like you could talk about your favorite. We can just go back and forth.
You know what? Since I was talking about how I didn't like them, I'll just say my least favorites. But you can say the positive ones. I'll say the negative ones.
Okay, so yeah, we'll balance each other out.
Tony Romo's Skechers commercials.
Oh my god! First of all,
Brutal.
I only like Tony Romo when he says good things about the Chiefs.
And
'cause
he
he's
had
on
some
every
abysmal
podcast.
commentary the whole game. So
Well, he's obsessed with Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure he has like a shrine of him in his house.
he probably does. But yeah, seeing him, advertise Skechers, I'm just like, that's very fitting. Go.
Fit check.
Exactly. So that was annoying.
Tony Romo definitely is the kind of guy that's going to be like 6 years old and wearing like New Balances or Skechers. And it's not like the cool ones that like our generation is making like stylish. It's going to be like the like Home Depot with like Walmart jeans combo.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what's a good one?
The Matthew McConaughey vending machine commercial.
Was that Doritos?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Doritos had another. Oh, no, it was Cheetos, the one with Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. That one was pretty good. With Shaggy?
Yeah.
But yeah, explain the Matthew McConaughey one.
I'm pretty sure Matthew McConaughey is ahead of the entire human race as far as like transcending into something greater.
Absolutely, I would agree.
He is in his own world, and I'm here for it. He has always kind of been my favorite Texas hippie.
He is definitely a hippie. In the best way, though.
I don't think I could ever say something bad about Matthew McConaughey, though. Like, literally everything he does I'm overwhelmed with joy when I see Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wanted to go buy more Doritos afterwards. So that advertisement
They're like
definitely
3D
worked.
Doritos, weren't they?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Wait, what do you mean 3D? Like 3D printed?
No, like they weren't like this thin chip.
Oh, like they actually like were like thick.
It was like one of those little like pretzel like bite thingies.
Okay, so like thick with a couple C's on the Doritos.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay, I got
It was
you.
like a little puffy guy.
That
But-
makes an insane amount of sense to me.
Yeah. So, but another bad commercial that I wrote down was the oat milk commercial. Did you see that one?
I was probably cooking dinner at that
Yeah.
point.
It was a dude. They were advertising oat milk, dairy free.
What the hell is oat milk?
Yeah, I made from oats.
I'm guessing it's just like milk with just like a water combination to it. Like it's just watery milk.
It's made from oats and stuff like that, which I don't know how to make it. I'm not.
Do oats like lactate or something like almonds do?
They
Or
must. But yeah, no, they do. That's exactly how they make almond milk, I'm guessing. But
they just milk the almonds?
they just milk the almonds. But yeah, the guy sang a song about it, and it was atrocious. It was one of the.
Can we get a little recap?
I don't even remember the lyrics, dude. I tried to forget it. Tried to jar it from my memory.
Damn.
But
Sadness.
if you look it up after, you will wish you never saw it.
Okay.
I don't know the point of the advertisement. I don't know who ran that through management, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll go with this."
Calm down, man. Just messing with you.
No, I'm just saying, dude. Somebody's got to take the fall for whoever decided on that commercial.
Okay. Well, I will talk about kind of like my third favorite, I guess. It was I'm not like a huge fan of Bruce Springsteen, but I thought the Jeep commercial was just very soothing. And I
that
think
was a long one, wasn't it?
It was a super long one. And then, but like, I don't know, like it was a very strong message, but it was just a very like visually appealing commercial.
Yeah.
Like the camera work was really good. Like, and I've never advertised for the sale of Jeeps or anything. But like
I know you want to do the Jeep wave.
The Jeep wave. Can you do it in studio real quick? Oh, the Jeep.
Okay. You just waved it.
Was that easy?
You know when Jeeps drive past each other and they give them a little like, you know.
Is that a thing?
You never knew about that?
No.
What, dude? Yeah, that's such a huge thing. I knew a lot of people growing up that drove Jeeps, so it was.
I can say I personally know at least 2 Jeep drivers, so I'll have to ask them.
You definitely have to ask them.
I should make this my capstone project.
Oh, 100%.
Is the Jeep wave real?
Yeah.
Coming to you.
100% real, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's all I got for commercials that I remember, though. That Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher one was pretty good, though.
That was good. The last thing I was going to say was, like, speaking of moving commercials, the NFL tried to do their whole Ignite Change commercial, which it was good, but they didn't include Colin Kaepernick in it.
The guy that started it.
The guy that, you know, the reason why anybody's even talking about it today.
Yeah,
which
at least in
I thought
the NFL.
Was very sus, very petty of the NFL.
Yeah.
I just it still just baffles me, man. We won't get into it too much here, but the fact that, you know, they
the
just
NFL has
can't
definitely messed up a lot.
Yeah, they just
as far as
can't stand behind Colin Kaepernick. It's so annoying.
If I had to give any guess why, I think it was just because of how it was presented or how like Colin Kaepernick like first like executed it. I just don't know if they could like see eye to eye on that specific way of like igniting the movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too bad that they couldn't have just gone the peaceful. They should. He was doing it peacefully. It's too bad that had to get away from that. But
yeah, the NFL is sus.
That's very sus.
Right now, I hate sports because I'm still heartbroken over this loss. But yeah, Brennan, at least we still have WandaVision.
That is the only thing we've got going for us.
So Brennan and I went ahead and finished, or at least we're caught up. We're caught up. So spoiler alert, just this isn't going to be the last thing we're going to talk about, so just skip ahead if you don't want to hear this part. But
I mean, the new episode's been out almost a week, so.
Yeah, the new episo's been out a week. So honestly, like, what are you doing if you're not watching the show, man? I have actually, watching the show, I've had a reignited love for the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I watched Age of Ultron before I went to work yesterday just because I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm kind of in the mindset now. But yeah, WandaVision, it's weird as hell, but I love it.
It took a second to get warmed up to it. And I'm glad I had other people that were able to let me know, like, hey, man, this gets better. Because it started off really slow. Because I'm not a fan of the whole 1950s sitcom look.
Oh, and apparently you and I can't be real fans of WandaVision because we talk shit on the first 2 episodes, only to find that the other 3 are a lot better. So I guess we're not real fans of the show, from what I've been seeing on social media at least.
I mean, it's fair. We might have jumped the gun a little bit there, but you know, that was just my raw reaction.
Yeah, 100%. Like, what the hell were they expecting? You know?
Yeah. But catching up to it now, the Marvel, it's back. I
want more.
I need more.
I crave more.
It was like, and what's nice is the episodes are pretty short. They're like 30 minutes.
Not even, dude.
Not even.
It's like 22 and like 8 minutes of credits.
You're right. The only thing I was disappointed in was the newest episode when they introduced the new character. It was the kid that's in all like the American Horror Story shows.
Oh, Evan Peters.
Evan Peters.
Yeah, Evan Peters.
I wanted it to be someone cool so bad, like a Marvel character. I was expecting to see like Captain America or something. And
I've been seeing that. It's like they're gonna bring like Fantastic Four into it.
Really?
Yeah, because Monica, the like head rocket scientist, like astrophysicist or whatever, not Kat Dennings' character, who by the way I despise. I'll just throw that out there.
Which one?
She was the one from the Thor movies.
Oh yeah.
The quirky.
Yeah.
I talk like this whenever I talk. Can I get that coffee now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her I can't stand for a multitude of reasons. One, I think she and just. Like, I'll get into my analysis in a sec about that. But, yeah, but she mentioned, some kind of astrophysicist that she knew. And the only one that's also still in the MCU that's an actual superhero is, like, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. So I'm thinking he's definitely going to make an appearance at some point. Because I know there's, like, this whole thing going on with, like, Fox and Disney and Sony about, like, who owns who. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's good. There's a lot of really cool possibilities that can happen.
Yeah.
And also, I finally got to the part where Detective Wu.
Yeah.
That card trick he did when he had like the business card. Mm-hmm. Paul Rudd and Ant-Man showed him that trick when he asked him how to, like in the second Ant-Man movie, like when he's like under house arrest.
Really?
Yeah, because like Paul Rudd like did like the card trick, and then he just goes up, he's like, "Hey, can you show me how to do that?"
You mean Asian Jim?
Yes.
Asian Jim Halpert.
Yeah, making an appearance in WandaVision and SNL in the same week, like that is a hell of an accomplishment. Congratulations, John Krasinski.
That was pretty funny.
Thank you. But yeah, like I just thought, like it's small stuff like that like they want you to look out for.
Yeah, I love the little Easter eggs.
But it makes the show so much better too. I know it's all like, what's the word? Fan service. It's all fan service.
Yeah, I mean,
but
of course,
it's fan service that we love. It's like watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars, or like just like any, like or Mandalorian or something.
Yeah, if you've grown up watching this stuff, you're gonna obviously hold it to a different level than somebody who didn't watch it. Somebody avid or just somebody that doesn't keep up with Marvel goes in and watches Endgame. They're gonna be like, "The hell is this?" Also, compared to me watching it, I'm just like, this shit is dope.
I want to ask you a question too. Do you think Vision's actually alive or dead?
He's dead, is he not?
I think he's actually dead, but I'm just wondering, like, because he's able to like kind of break through what's going on. So you think if he was dead and she just kind of like made up the character, like he wouldn't have had free will? We're
extremely spoiling it right now, but like you saw like him, the like vision of him like. The stone's broken. He's like completely
like Lil Uzi Vert if someone got the diamond out of his head. Yeah,
literally Thanos snatching Lil Uzi's diamond out of his head.
Some chain snatching.
Snatching his wig. But there was like an instance in like either episode 2 or 3 where I started catching on and I was just like, damn, this is...
Was that when...
Wanda is literally controlling this.
Yeah.
I called it like a few episodes before they figured it out.
I got a little theory though. I think Catherine Hahn's character, their like next door neighbor, like the one that really talks like that. Oh yeah. I think she's behind it all.
You think she's behind it?
Yeah.
How?
I think she's like taking advantage of Wanda's grief, and I think she's kind of the mastermind behind it because there's no way that like. Wanda's doing this.
Yeah, they're kind of making her out to be a bad guy.
They're making her out to be a bad guy, which kind of caught me off guard because.
Well, I mean, we've seen other Avengers do that.
What's up?
We've seen other Avengers do that. Hawkeye did it. He became a bad guy.
But he was under like a spell, though.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
He was under a spell.
Yeah, in the first Avengers, he got hit with like Loki's thing, and it like turned him into a like asshole for like half the movie.
No. After
in Civil War
in one of the most recent the one before Endgame, Infinity War, when everyone disappeared, his whole family
becomes disappeared. Where he literally becomes Attack on Titan.
Yeah, you saw his whole family disappear, and he like averted to a life of crime in like Mexico, destroying cartels
in Japan,
whatever. So yeah,
outfit he had on.
It'll be, and then they had this whole redeeming story of him. So I'm sure it'll be kind of the same type of thing.
It wouldn't be anything superhero related if they didn't have like a falling arc where the character has to redeem themselves.
Exactly.
That's always, it's super cliche, obviously, but like that's what 100%. Makes a good
that's what
story.
Marvel's pretty cliche. But
that's what they're known for.
We love it.
Like Thor, for instance, like he becomes like YouTube addicted alcoholic. Fortnite. And he's definitely like practicing dances and just when he's drinking like PBR or some shit like that, he's hit rock bottom. But then he has to redeem himself in the movie, which is what he does. And all of his fans just go bonkers for it.
Absolutely. Fat Thor, I'll miss him, though.
Fat Thor is still a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not like he just like shed the fat in like a matter of seconds when
He is
put
a
the armor on.
god, so.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, he's probably.
It's also a movie.
Yeah. And he also got it from drinking. So if he probably like lays off the sauce for like a month and like goes back to
that's
like
all we have to do.
cosmic keto.
That's all we've got to do to lose it.
Stop drinking.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Damn, dude. All right.
But hey, it's just so darn tasty.
It is.
And for moments like this week, it's going to be a habit.
Some busy weeks, you just gotta calm it down with a nice beer.
Exactly. Drink Miller, even though that's not. I'll cut this part out. We don't do advertisements for free.
You don't need to cut it out. It's kind of funny.
I can't wait until we start getting advertisements, though.
Hey, I mean, we could figure out somebody out there wants us to, promote a little.
Yeah, let's try to get like the Viagra medicine.
All right, the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, we'll advertise the COVID vaccine.
Get the COVID vaccine.
Yeah. Pay me for it. I'll be selling them behind the Arby's alley at 2 a.m.
We have the meats.
All right. Brendan, so I think our closing segment, we agreed it was going to be the top 3 positive aspects of life in the current sense, since even though the my precious Chiefs, have failed me.
Yeah.
So why don't you go first with the first one?
I didn't have anything specific coming into this, but I just think every day that passes that we get further and further away from what 2020 was, the last day of 2020. I just think that's a good day.
We're still kind of in it.
We're still close. We're still a little close. So I think better days are ahead.
I think so too.
And we just got to keep grinding, man.
Beamer's a very half glass full kind of guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Respect the hell out of that, man.
You gotta live life like that. How about you?
Obviously my first one. Chiefs are favored to win the Super Bowl next year, so I'm just kind of hoping on that. And I guess soon it's gonna be baseball season, so maybe the Royals won't let me down this year.
Yeah.
Okay. See, here's the thing. I was called like a super spoiled sports fan because I've had a World Series and a Super Bowl by the time I was 21 years old.
Yeah.
But you get those and you have higher expectations for your team. Mm-hmm. Like, I've become what I've despised for so long. I've become a Boston sports fan.
Yeah.
I mean, not like a fan of the Boston sports, but like their style of like fanship.
Yeah.
So another positive thing I'm going to work on is the fact that I still have my health because I survived. I beat that COVID shit.
Yeah.
That shit was nothing.
We're survivors, man.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And now I can't give it to anybody, so problem solved.
As of right now, yeah, you're not a doctor.
As of right now, I am
a doctor.
I'm not a threat either, so.
Yeah. Another good thing for me, since you brought up some football, is that the Chicago Bears are still in trade talks with Deshaun Watson. So I think
yikes.
The whole Carson Wentz thing, not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's just a publicity stunt for the Texans to get a little worried and drop their price for Deshaun and give him to the Bears.
Yeah.
It's all part of the plan.
I could see Deshaun going to the Bears. Also, can I just bring this up real quick? I'm looking at a picture of Sam Darnold on my laptop here. Mm-hmm. He looks like Jesse Plemons. You know who that is?
The actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays Todd in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like, look at there. I'm gonna show you this.
Yeah. Oh my God, he does.
Yeah.
He really does.
Looks exactly like him.
He actually does. You're right. It's pretty creepy.
That's terrifying.
Jesse Plemons is kind of a creepy looking guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. You got a last one or?
Yeah. We still have a show, and it's actually getting more and more listeners every day, and we always are appreciating that stuff.
That'll feed into my last one too. My last one is
just a little fan appreciation. The Stew Crew.
We'll see everyone next week. You know.
Yeah.
We'll still be going.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna end the show right there.
You want me to?
No.
Okay.
I never want to go.
All right.
I live in the studio.
In the stew.
All right, but that is actually our show. I actually feel better having this little hour-long therapy session with the boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're still on YouTube at Spicing Things Up Podcast, and our email is spicingthingsuppodcast@gmail.com. We don't have any promotions yet, so let's get some.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, see you next Wednesday. Go in peace.
See you guys.
You ever feel like nothing good was ever going to happen to you?
Yeah, and nothing did. So what?